Hello, hello, hello. How are you? Welcome to Bemis Crafty Corner. I am Bima, better known as Elf, and I have been working on this video for about a year. Not because it's difficult, but because I don't understand why people are paying to buy it. Okay? So this is a dupe, obviously. It's a dupe. And a while ago, we had this dupe right here from RanGeR. And all it is just basically a basic envelope with like an index card that slides in it. Now, if you buy these in the store, they pretty much all come in the same spot. We duped it and made it so you could put it all the way across it. And then this dupe came out. This one came out. And I took the picture of the package because I wasn't going to pay $8 for this. So I took a picture of the package and I came home and I looked at it and I said, okay, what is this? And I found out what it is. This one is almost exactly what we've already seen. It's a card that goes into this little envelope. The only difference here is that it has a circle in it, which you can do with a punch or die, either one. So we're going to do this one. We'll do it. The other one is a small file folder. We're going to do this one too because it's simple and it's easy. And you really should already have this in your repertoire. You should be able to do this without having to spend $8 to buy this. And then a library pocket. It's very basic. And an insert that goes into the library pocket that fits inside of it. And here's the joke on this. Guys, this is literally just a piece of paper. It's actually a file folder folded in half. That's all it is. So we're going to do these. I'm going to do the insert and the library pocket. We are going to do the file folder, and we are going to do, again, this small pocket, but we're going to add the circle to it, okay? So I'm going to get all the supplies. I'll be right back. Okay, so we're going to break these down. Project number one, we're going to do these little file folders, okay? And I'm going to show you how to do this. If you have a We Are Memory Keepers board that has the notch in it, you're going to want that. Or if you have a notch punch, that'll work as well. And we're going to want a file folder. So the first thing we're going to do with our file folder is we are going to cut this at 3 3/4 inches. Why? Because that's the size that he made it. Do you have to use 3 3/4 inches? No. If you want to do it a different size, you do you, boo. Save these. We're going to use them. And then we're going to make it 5 1/2. Why? Because that's the size he put in the package. So that's what we're doing. We're duping it to the size, okay? So we can get 2 of these out of a file folder. Don't get rid of this. Just put it to the side because we're going to need it. So first things first is we decide what's the front and what's the back. We're going to open it up. We're going to use our We Are Memory Keepers or our notch punch. And we're just going to punch this wherever we want the tab to be. And then we're going to come over here and we're going to go in halfway. And we're going to cut the other side of our tab. Then we're going to cut a notch halfway on the other end. See that? Okay, watch. We're going to put this back in. And we want to put this so that the wire in the middle is right at the dip. Here in the dip there. And we're going to cut till we don't have any more resistance. That means we have removed this portion. Then we're going to round corners. I'm going to round this corner right there. And we are going to take this part off because we're going to make this part a little bit, smaller. So we're going to measure this from the top of this to the line. This might be a little bit different for everybody's trimmer, But for me, it's about 5/8 of an inch. So I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to remove that 5/8 of an inch. I'm going to round the corners. Oh, this thing is so scary. Round the corner. And there you have Tim Holtz's mini file folder that comes in his set. Now, you want to put the tab in the middle? Not a problem. Just put it into your tab. Punch. Move over as wide as you want your tab to be. Punch. Remove those two pieces. Again, same thing. You're putting it in here and mounting the line up. That wire right into the divot. Done. Moving it up to the other side down till there's no resistance. You have removed both ends. Now I've already established that my piece is 7/8 of an inch. So I'm going to put that at the 7/8 of an inch mark. Remove the extra piece. Excuse me. And I'm going to round my corners. There and over on this side. So there they are. There's two. You know, you want to make three, make three. Make as many of these as you want. They are that easy to do. Okay? So that's the first one that we duped. I'm going to clean this up. I'll be right back. We're going to dupe the next piece, which is going to be the library pocket and the, well, you know what? We'll do these next. We're going to do these envelopes next. So you can either use a circle punch, or if you have a die cutting machine, you're going to want to get out your circle dies, trimmer, something to score with, and a burnishing tool. I'll be right back. All right, so for the next part, those pieces I told you to save, the fronts, not the backs, the tab side. We want the divoted sides. We're going to grab those. Excuse me. We're also going to get out a hole punch for a circle if you have one. If you don't have one that you like, and unless it's a deep set, it's going to be, your thing is going to be at the bottom. See how this one's really low? If you want it in the middle, dies. But if you have a circle punch that's going to give you that, go for it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do this next one. And it's pretty simple. And I'm going to ink this so you guys can see. So for this one, what we want to do is we want to take this piece and we want to make it 4.5 inches. So we're just going to set it at 4.5. And that's 4. We want it at 4.5 right there. Okay. 4 1/4, 4.5, whatever you want. He did his at 4.5. I'm going to do it at 4 1/4. Okay, we're going to cut that. Look at that. That's gone. That is now waste officially. All right, getting rid of it. By 6 3/4, guys. 6 3/4. Right there. Hold on to that. And since we're going to do this 2 ways, I'm going to do this 2 ways. So we're going to go 4 1/4 here. That out of the way. 4 1/4, rid of my waist, and then 6 3/4. Okay, holding on to that. Now, I'm going to get out my scoreboard just because it's easier for me, but if you are using your trimmer to do scoring, by all means use it, okay? But I'm going to go ahead and get this out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece that we cut that is 6 3/4 by 4.5, and on the long side, we're going to score this at 1 3/4, and then again at 4 3/4, and then we're going to turn it. It doesn't matter whether we go to, which direction we turn it in. We just want to turn it. And we're going to score this at 3/4. Okay? Now, we're going to fold and burnish all of these. So I'm going to go ahead and do that on this one, and then I'm going to bring the other one over, and I'm going to do that one again. Same score lines, okay? So this piece is 6 3/4. We're going to go at 1 3/4, right there. 4 3/4, right there. Turn it either way, 3/4 of an inch. Why 3/4 of an inch on the bottom? I don't know. It just seemed like a healthy chunk. You know what I mean? You could do a 1/2 inch if you want. It's entirely up to you. But I'm going to go ahead and fold this one up. And this is the one we're going to use the punch on. So what we're going to do is we're just going to come in with our punch in the center. We're going to go as far up as it will let us go. We're going to get that even. And we're going to punch out that center piece. And I did that with the bottom piece folded up because it needs to be folded up. Then we're going to cut these off, okay? So a little bit of a wedge, and then remove these little pieces. Same thing on the other side. A little bit of a wedge, and then remove these pieces. Okay? That's it. This one, what we're going to do is we are going to glue this a couple of different ways. First, we're going to put glue down here, all around. Then we are going to glue this one on the outside, but on the edge, but on the inside, and this one on the edge here. Okay, you'll see in a minute. So we're going to pull this down. This piece, that's the piece that has the glue on the outside, is going to come over. Then we're going to glue this one, pushing all this down. We're going to glue this one over here. Why? Well, because now we've glued it in 2 places. Okay? That's the first one. Now, if you are going to use your die cutting machine, you're going to take this. I'm going to bring it up here. No die machine shaming. This machine is still good. I'm going to put this on, and so that I know where the center is, I'm going to go ahead and put a little ink on here, just so I can see it, okay? Right. So now we can all see it. See that? Move this over. So now we can see where our center square is. So we're going to get one of our dies, whatever size circle you want it to be. If you want it to be, stitched, whatever fits. We're going to put that on there where we want our circle to be, in the middle-ish. And, oops, I slid that over. Oh, come on. There we go. That's better. Put the plate on. We're just going to cut a circle. Do you have to use a circle? No, that's what he used. You can use anything you want. Well, that's what RanGeR used. So we're going to take that. Boop. Take that part out of the middle. I'm going to get rid of this and that and everything. And I'll be back in just a second. I'll be right back. Okay, but else, you didn't cut the circle in the... You don't have to. Okay? It does not... This one, it doesn't really come up. Okay? So again, I'm going to use my scissors. A little bit of a wedge here. Taking off this little bottom corner thing here. Same thing on the other side. Okay? Why am I putting the wedge in? Because it makes it fold up better. All right, bringing this piece up. Glue. Could I use tape? Absolutely. Glue on the inside, outside, inside edge. Glue on the edge of the top. Okay, bring it over. And bring this one over. And you have now created his circled piece. But I want to go a step further. I want to put something inside of it. So we're going to do that. This is 3 inches wide. And so we're just going to take a piece of leftover file folder, and we're going to go to 3 inches and then just a hair less. Okay, take a slice. And then 4 inches is our height. Now you can put this in just the way that it is. You can round the corners on it. You can use your We Are Memory Keepers board, and you can put a tab up here. It's entirely up to you. I'm going to put a tab in. So I'm going to cut a notch there. I'm going to bring it over here, cut a notch over here. And then just trim those off, either with my scissors or with my trimmer. It doesn't really matter. Just like that. You can corner round this if you want to. If you can't get the corner rounder in there, just pull this down a little bit. It'll work. Cut it by hand if you have to. Okay? Corner around here, corner around here. Now you have your pocket. You have your card. Decorate it. Slide it in there. There you go. And that is his pocket, okay? Next one we're going to do is the library pocket. There's about a million different ways to do this. We're going to do it in the dimensions that they have on the RanGeR set. And then we're going to do the insert. So I will be back with your supplies, and we'll get that one started. I'll be right back. All right, so our next 2 pieces are the library card and this little insert that goes inside of it, okay? So we're going to get out the back piece, our trimmer, and we're going to go ahead and make our first cut. And our first cut is at 4 3/4, right there. So we're basically going to take all of that off, okay? Then we're going to cut this down to 8 inches because we have to have our back piece, which I believe is 5 inches, and then 3 inches for our fold-up, so 8 inches. These are his measurements, okay? Now, for this insert, it is going to be, it's basically just a cut of a file folder that's folded in half. If you don't have that, you can certainly use like one of these back pieces. It's going to be a little bit short, but I recommend you use a file folder, okay? So we're going to get a file folder. And what we want is to cut a piece from our file folder that is 5 inches. 5 inches wide. All right? But we're going to put our fold at the top. Boop, 5 inches. All right? And then basically what this is, if you can look here, you can see, well, it's, you know, there's the lines on a file folder. So this is 5 inches wide. And then we're just cutting this part off. So this cut is about 6.5 inches. Okay. So I'm going to open this up. We're going to take our file folder. I'm going to put all the measurements in the description, as always. But 6.5 from the fold. All right. Putting it in, cutting it down, getting rid of that. Oopsie. So now we have our two pieces. Let me get this out of the way for the moment. We're going to get out the scoreboard again. Okay. So his original piece, let me grab one. His original piece has an overall width of 3.5 inches. Okay. And our piece is 4 3/4. So we're going to put it in here on the short side, and we're going to go, what did I measure this for? We are going to go at 1/2 inch over here. And so we want this to be 3, so we're going to go 4 1/4 over here. See how that works? Then we're going to turn this and we're going to score it at 3 inches. Then we're going to burnish our folds. There, on the sides, and again we're going to do some cutting. Okay, so we're going to keep the bottom piece, but we're getting rid of the top. So at the corner cross there, just take a little arrow, wedge on both sides. Just makes life easier later on. Then we're going to wedge down here and wedge here. We're going to remove those. Okay, these long pieces, let's get rid of them. Can you use your trimmer to do this? Yeah, if you have a regular slide trimmer and not a guillotine. And if you're really careful, you could probably do it with a guillotine. We're going to get rid of these. I'm going to get rid of the scoreboard. I'll be right back. Oh, no, I'm not going to get rid of that scoreboard because we need that scoreboard for this. This is 6.5 inches. We're going to go at 3 1/4 and we're going to score. No. Is it 6.5? Yes, it is 6.5. 3 1/4, not 3 3/4. Stupid. 3 3/4. 3 1/4. I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to score the other side at 3 1/4. And then I'm going to fold this like a bird and burnish it. Now I'm going to get rid of the scoreboard and I'll be right back. All right, so to finish this up, we're going to get out our corner rounder. We're going to come up here and we are going to round the top corners, both here and here. Make sure we have all 4 of those areas wedged. We're going to fold up our big flap over our little flap. We're going to glue these little flaps on the outside down. Can you use tape? You betcha. Okay. Here we go. Ink. This one, since we've already folded it in, 3 1/4, 3 1/4. It's a 6.5 inch piece. And if you want to, you could go in here certainly in round corners. That's entirely up to you. So I'm going to round this one and this one. I'm going to round this double corner. If that does not fit in your corner rounder, go over it with your burnishing tool. Okay. Then we're going to do this one and this one. And then we're going to do this one and this one. We're basically going to make a lot of hanging chads here. That one and this one. And then this fits in there. All right. That is all of them that come in that set of essentials. These are items that you can find multiple videos on how to make. There are plenty of videos on how to make windowed pockets like these. There are lots and lots of videos on how to make little file folders like these. There are dozens of videos on how to make library pockets in all different sizes. And, well, this is just folding a piece of paper in half. So that's it, guys. That is the essentials pack, okay? That's it. It's technically 4 pieces. They give you this piece, this piece, this piece, and the pocket is a separate piece. But that's it. That's all of it. Okay? So if you're new here and you haven't done so already, hit the button and subscribe. Like me, ring my bell, do that all. Just do it all. Also, if you would like to get a copy, you can get a copy of my schedule. It tells you when I go live, what videos I have coming up, free tutorials, free classes, all that kind of stuff. Also, excuse me, if you want to cyber stalk me, that's really easy. All you have to do is go down to the description and click on more. There's a whole list of stuff down there, including my email address, my Ko-Fi, my Patreon, my Facebook group. It's all down there, okay? So you can get all that information. Until I see you again, stay well, my friends. I love you guys. Bye-bye.